gave it a couple blasts up to, I don't know, probably 160, 70 miles an hour. In 2015, we got a call from a friend of mine, Brian Weiss, and he said that he had a friend that worked for Nissan and would like to come tour the AMS performance facility. So he's a good friend of ours, so we naturally obliged, and it really didn't come to light until a couple days before that his friend at Nissan was actually the Nismo chief product specialist, Hiroshi Tamura, who most notably is basically the father of the R35 GTR. Everything from the looks, the performance, and everything was his idea. He is a really cool car guy. You know, he's basically one of us. He loves the aftermarket. He actually owns an R32, which he's got about 600 horsepower. It had more at one point, but he's all about the balance of a car. You know, that's kind of the Japanese culture, is balance, something that's usable, where here in America it's all about brute power and insanity. Part of Hiroshi's kind of secret past is allegedly he's part of the Japanese Midnight Club and kind of a street racer from back in the day. An interesting thing about the Midnight Club is they were actually like kind of the first ways. Because of all the speed cameras they had on the highways in Japan, they came up with an app that would tell them where the cameras were, so they would basically slow down when they were passing the cameras, and then they would race up to the next camera and slow down, and were able to do it without getting caught. So Hiroshi has had a long time love affair with Nissan. Actually, in 1972, he fell in love with the Skyline as a kid, and as time went on, he was able to secure a job with Nissan in 1984, but it actually wasn't until 13 years later when he got the chance to finally do something with a Skyline, which he was a product planner for the R33. And interesting enough, when the R34 came out, it actually had a lot of the modifications that he had done to his R32 in as factory Nissan parts. So when Hiroshi arrived, he immediately was back in the shop under the hoods of the cars, you know, checking out all the things that we're up to and the cars we're being built, and was just swapping notes about, you know, what he thought about it, and it was very complimentary to kind of the things that we're doing. And in the shop was my hearse, was in the engineering section, and I was doing my twin turbo Garrett setup on the car, and he was having a good laugh and really enjoyed kind of the craziness of my car. But, you know, got into the engineering department, was checking out all the new products that we were developing. Was really, really kind of blown away by the amount of engineering that we put into our products at AMS. You know, you always wonder what the factory is thinking, and you almost feel hated because you're out there modifying their designs. So it was really pretty incredible to have the godfather of the R35 GTR in our facility, checking out the cars and really just approving and liking what we were doing with his design. After the tour of the facility, we had a special treat for Hiroshi. Our customer Gary had an Alpha 10X, this orange wide body GTR that we had just completed building, and he's a big fan of Hiroshi. So he's in New York, so he wasn't there to meet him, but he gave us permission to let Hiroshi drive the car. And this is a 1,000 horsepower pump gas car. So he went out in it and you know, got after it a bit and really enjoyed the experience. He ended up signing the underhood of his car. And after that was done, we offered him a ride in Alfa Omega, which at the time was about 1,800 horsepower. And he immediately said yes, but only as a passenger. He wanted no part of driving it, which was probably a good thing. So we strapped him into the 5-point harness, and Ivan, the driver and builder of the car, went out and took him on this nice concrete road and gave it a couple blasts up to, I don't know, probably 160, 70 miles an hour. And what's funny is Hiroshi was trying to take a video, but he couldn't even hold the camera because of the G-forces. I can't imagine that he's ever been in anything that fast. And when he was done taking the ride, he signed the dash of the car and wrote, "So amazing," which was really cool to have on our car. So he is still the chief product specialist for Nismo and he is currently designing the R36 GTR. Obviously, as an aftermarket tuning company, we wanted to know any inside information about it, and he said that he was not able to tell us anything. After the tour, we took him out to dinner. We were swapping car stories. He was very interested to hear about kind of what we had going, and I told him about my plan to do the Cannonball, the 2904 in 2015. He was really intrigued by kind of the American culture of the car scene and everything, which was really cool. Overall, an amazing experience to have like a pioneer in automotive design to spend the time with us and kind of share stories, and it's kind of the kind of experience you just like a once in a lifetime thing.